everyone, welcome. It's me, Percita, and this is Percita's Paradox. Thank you so much for joining me on this Tuesday. It is the last week of September, and man, oh man, has this been a great month. If you're new to this channel, thank you so much for joining me as you've come on, and I appreciate that because you're here, I'm here, and we can actually talk today. And if you're an OG, thank you so much for wavering through me literally having the best birthday ever this year. It was absolutely amazing. I think I told you guys on the last video that I posted that I may or may not post while I was traveling. And of course, as the powers may be, I had videos that were able to be posted if I only had internet access. And because your girl was in Spain, I just could not make it happen. So I do apologize for that delay. And if you are new, you have nothing to do with what I just said because you came on today, and I greatly appreciate you for today. So let's get started. If you absolutely have made it this far, then do so much of a favor for me by hitting the notification button, by subscribing, and also by just taking the time just this far to say, I kind of dig you, and hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. Feel free at the end of this video, if you have some input, to comment, to share it, to do all those other cool things that you can do with YouTube and make it happen for me to grow this channel. So let's get started. Have so much to tell you. Oh my God, so much to decompress, so much to unload, but I'm going to try to take it slowly. As you can see, I am a little hyped up, and I'm not hyped up for any other reason than it's just an overwhelming feeling to actually watch your life evolve into something that you've always dreamt of it to be. And not necessarily from what society would call happiness. And I'm not saying that, things like financial successes or tangible things aren't fun, but there's a place really that I have been striving to be at for a very long time. And I'm super excited that I really can tell you that I have reached that place. And that place is just a place of peace, a place of acknowledgement of I'm really doing what I want to do, and I'm doing what I want to do unapologetically, and I'm doing what I want to do, and I have enough to do with others' happiness as well because I'm starting off in a happy place. So just coming into that and coming into the idea of just really multiple streams of peace, not multiple streams of competition or multiple streams of chaos or any of the sort, but something that just allows me to really just sit back and relax, right? I'm a pretty notorious traveler. I have close to 26 countries underneath my belt at this point. And I would say to you, the one thing that I've always noticed about other cultures other than the American culture is that they seem to have figured out this idea of accomplishing what you can and letting go of everything else. And on this particular trip, I just wanted to share with you what I can honestly wholeheartedly tell you that I have learned is we as Americans tend to think that it's very important to look busy and to run around rampant trying to be busy. And we say things like, how frustrated we are with what's going on. And we always have 50,000 things that we want to do. And some of us even go into this idea of you don't want to rest, or you don't want to feel like you're not always doing or always moving, because something about that for Americans is tied to this idea of success. What I have learned is that is actually not a good way to live. I won't say that it's not achievable or it's not successful for some, because I'm not going to group everybody into one category. I will say for me, I have seen more success in the last year of just really walking in a place of peace and walking in a place of where my lane is than I ever had before. From a financial place, from a spiritual place, from a relational place. It's just this thing that has really been very complicated to put words to, but I'm completely understanding what I'm trying to say. I am agreeing with my soul in understanding that I am just thankful. And in walking in that thankfulness allows me to just remain in peace. And when I think of traveling, right, and staying in European places or staying in Central America places or going to Africa or however you want me to describe it, anything other than the American culture, quote unquote, I'm starting to understand it's just our nature here to just constantly be in a hustle, constantly be conflicted with resting. And really not understanding like a true holiday or true vacation is really not you doing something to just try to prove to somebody else that you're doing it, but actually just enjoying it and enjoying it unapologetically, but also enjoying it in a manner that you can really unplug and be okay. And if you do something or you don't do something on that vacation, it's still okay. And if you don't take a vacation, it's still okay. You find ways to really make your mind just move and function in a manner of what you can and cannot control, right? So I would just say, in saying all of that, I mean, I've traveled pretty extensively this year, and I've really, really finally figured out what I meant when I would say to people, you know what, I really think, you know, the people overseas or European people or Danish people or the African culture or whatever it is you want to say has figured it out. And what I mean by that is that they just don't seem to function in that manner of chaos. And that's funny to me because I've always wondered why when that culture, meaning any of the cultures that I just discussed, we'll just say European because that's just where I was. When they come to the States, it's almost as if they're always relaxed, but we take some of the relaxedness as an arrogance because we don't really understand the relaxation, or we don't understand moving in a vein that would then just allow things to manifest on whatever particular level it is. And if it doesn't work, oh, you hear my doorbell. And if it doesn't work, then being in a place of understanding you can do something different. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-American, or I'm not suggesting that we're less than. What I am suggesting is that the differences, if really taught to explore and find what you need from other cultures, right? If that is something that's necessary, for me, it's been necessary. It then lends itself to allow you to think beyond just what you've been told. And what I mean by that is there's nothing wrong with the hustle. I mean, literally, most countries come to America for the opportunities. And those opportunities lend to the idea of hustling and frustration and all of the other things that I just told you that we do in a negative. There's very much so the positive of the exact same concept, because you need those things in order to live this vibrant life. A lot of European particular cultures or African cultures don't really allow for the person to actually generate new money, because it's really based on a socioeconomic diaspora, right? And it puts you in a position where you're not able to really make something new happen. Meaning if you were born into a middle-class situation, then primarily you're going to stay within the middle-class situation because there's just not a lot of opportunity. And America brings forth the idea for a person to change that trajectory of their life. So don't think at all that I feel some kind of a way about being American. But in the same breath, because I am a Black woman in America, it's a little different. It's just what it is. It's just a little different. So I say all of that to say the socioeconomic breakdown across the board remains. There's absolutely no difference for the racial injustices of a Black person in America as it is in any particular region of the world. But what I am also expressing is that the opportunity to understand that I don't have to stress myself out in order to prove that I'm different starts from the idea of the entitlement that we like to talk about that the European culture has. I realize that entitlement that we classify it as is really not necessarily entitlement, but more an idea of just working in your lane, just doing what you can do, just lending yourself to stay as positive as possible, always in hopes of something better, right? In our culture, in American culture, we just don't necessarily move in that vein because we're continuously trying to recreate or trying to change a trajectory for ourselves, for our families, for whatever. So our hustle, our conversation, our frustrations, our health, our eating, everything is quick and rushed because that is what we have. That's all the time that we can give it. 5 minutes on a meal. No time to sit down and actually prepare things. Buying our food in bulk so that we can make our time efficient. And doing things along those lines to really push forth the idea of change. So that's my run on for the day. I mean, I really will just say that there's always this moment in my mind that I really need to figure out what it is that I need from every situation, and always look at my scenarios as, something that is to teach me something or to move into something. And I would just say that I've finally figured out what the differential is, because I'm used to the hustle when I'm here at home in California, to go somewhere where they're on holiday, right? And in their mind, a holiday really does encompass doing everything that you want to do without any stresses whatsoever, without checking your emails, without doing any of those things. It's really like a disconnect. It's something to be learned for me in that way. Same way in speaking to people there and me thinking that, oh my God, their country is absolutely fantastic. Their dream is to come to America, right? And their dream is to then experience something that I would find to not be anything glamorous, but for them it would be. And if you catch what I'm trying to say, it's like really understanding what is missing out of your life and what needs to happen in your life, and also understanding that the thing that you might take for granted is something that somebody else is looking for. Something about that just really caused me to be in a peaceful place of really comprehending that I'm exactly where I need to be at the exact time I need to be it. And everything that I need to do is right here in the now. Anything beyond this now, I can't really stress. I can't really stress what's happening in my future, and I can't really stress what has happened. Living in this now is really what I'm trying to say, that I feel like I learn from my travels. Because we in America sometimes get very caught up on not living in the now, or feeling as if we have to be conflictual, or we have to have something negative to say, because lo and behold, if we actually just appreciate what it is that we have, because someone else might actually want what we have. So maybe we don't have to stress so much. Maybe we don't have to work in an idea of always telling people that we're busy and, always on this moment of, I can't sleep, I have no time for nothing, and this supposedly makes us so successful. Maybe there's a balance that we really should contemplate in understanding how that works. And maybe there's an idea that we can actually walk in that just looks and feels a little different. And if I had to share anything with you, that is pretty much what I would say. Is like, I would tell you for these last 2 weeks, that has really been something for me to talk about. The last video that I was discussing before I left was manipulation, and I had given it to you in a few different ways. And I'll still say that I would continue somewhat on that series, but just in understanding even what I was saying before I left, I feel like my conversation has shifted due to the fact that the experiences that I've had and just the mindset shift that I've had really is causing me to understand that a lot of what I'm saying can be changed in just a matter of a thought. And that thought is just literally staying in a place of peace and finding somehow, some way, the positive of what it is, or the upside, or the angle that gives way to something that could be less stressful, right? Because we can't even say that we're in a place of trying to eliminate stress, because that's insane. And even in saying that you're walking in peace, you're still under some sense of true life. True life is going to always bring forth stress. Hell, if you're in America, if you're anywhere, it is what it is. But what I'm saying is that I'm really learning that I can walk in a place that's very different than the place I've been. And I'm enjoying the journey to figure out what that actually will look like once it's completely adjusted. So, as always, thank you so much for joining me. I apologize if that was a ramble for you. It really felt good coming out of me. I'm not quite sure how clear it would be for you. Go back and listen to it a couple of times if you don't really feel good. And just understand that I'll definitely expound as much as I possibly can over the next couple of months. The channel is shifting. I was trying to do a lot of the work before I left. That was a lot of my stress as well, because you'll notice very blatantly there's things that are going to look different. The format is changing dramatically, and I wanted to do it all before my birthday, because of course my birthday was September 20th for the people who don't know, and it didn't happen. And that stressed me out a little bit, because I really felt like, oh my God, once again, I'm coming into this idea and it's not coming to manifestation and it's getting on my nerves, until I recognized that I really needed to pay attention to the timing. I really needed to pay attention to just putting something out just for the sake of saying that I'm going to do it because I told you I was going to do it, or actually waiting for things to be proper so that I could be in a place of making sure I'm putting out the best quality. And if you know me, you already know I'm only going to put out the best. So here it is. We're still waiting on some things to work, and we're still waiting on some clearances to happen. So as soon as that happens, we're right on the money, and you'll see that shift. But like I said, you'll notice that the channel will look and feel extremely different over the next couple of weeks. So as always, thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate you and your time. And thank you so much for the last couple of weeks that you guys have been commenting, even on my old videos. Something's going on with YouTube. Feel free, if you can't find a video or something's happening, absolutely let me know. We will find a way to get you access to videos. But a few people have been telling me that videos have been taken down and, all kinds of stuff. So bless YouTube's heart. It is a format that they can do whatever they want. And to be perfectly honest with you, as long as you are happy, I am happy, I'm going to continue to put the content out. So as always, do 3 things. Live life authentic. I greatly appreciate you, even if I don't say it and you don't feel it all the time. Even if I literally feel like some days I'm just not coming through for you because I'm not in a place that I can actually get videos out as quickly as I want. Do understand that you are always in my heart and you're always on my mind, and I am absolutely doing it as quickly as possible. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember to like, share, comment. Remember to hit the notification button so you do know when the videos are coming. And as always, I'll see you on Thursday. Have a great day. Bye-bye.